All right, Sparsh. Last week you had a big win with the score of 144 to 81, something like that. You know, after this week, you're regarded as the favorite moving forward, and I want to know, like, do you want to be the favorite, or do you want to be more in the shadows?
Yeah, man. Well, is that kind of decided? Because I know we're doing the player rankings this year, and Alvin had a pretty strong week as well. So, I don't know if it's
Okay, so according to ESPN rank, like your standings on ESPN,
okay.
you're number one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So what I'll say to that is, I don't like being on the I don't like being number one on the power rankings. I kind of like doing my own thing. Uh, so, but that's not really something you can really worry about or control. You kind of just do your own thing, put the best squad you got out there, and keep things rolling. So that's what we're looking to do.
Yeah, Ankit.
Hey, Sparsh. Obviously, congrats on the win. Your team is looking great. Um, have you thought about maybe apologizing for being a little bit of a Mick player?
Oh man. Well, the Mick allegations are are plenty, and they come strong. They come on strong. There's been a lot of Mick chatter. A lot of hate, but that's kind of the price of success. And like I told you, Rishi and our and my preseason presser. I'm kind of approaching the season with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. Our guys are looking to ball out, and we're kind of, we got that underdog mentality, and just because we put up a great showing week one, I think we kind of put the league on notice that this isn't a down year. This isn't some kind of Super Bowl hangover end of a dynasty kind of situation. We're coming for it all. We're just as strong as ever. So watch out, guys.
I'd also like to say, my model loved Cooper Cup. So does that concern you in any way?
Yeah, that concerns me big time. But at the same time, there are the chance that once in a while your model might be right. And Cooper Cup was one of the guys that I loved just personally. I kind of draft based on gut. And Cooper Cup was one who really sat right with me. I just love the way, I said it before, I'll say it again. I love the way that guy plays. I think he went out and showed everyone week one just what he's all about. And I'm really, really glad to have him back on the squad this year, doing what he does best. So,
Thank you.
mhm.
All right, Sparsh. Friday night, two Eagles played, and they had big nights. Binding for 50 points. Saquon Barkley and AJ Brown. I just want to know like what you expect for moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was kind of high on the Eagles coming into this season. I'm really happy with the way those two guys showed out during that Brazil game. I was like I said, I was happy with their performance. I was worried while I was watching the game with all the slipping that was going on that pretty crappy field. So I was just kind of crossing my fingers and hoping both of those guys made it out of the game intact, and they did. They seem to be doing well, happy, and ready for their next matchup with Atlanta. So I'm happy with those guys. They're as they're doing what I knew they were capable of. So I'm just gonna work to keep that momentum, building on that momentum. Yeah.
All right. Like the only player, so you had two players do kind of bad for you, like looking at your team this week. Actually, three, sorry, but one of them got hurt. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask about DeAndre Swift first. If he doesn't improve, it looks like that could be like a hole, like a hole in your roster. So I want to know what you're gonna do about him.
Yeah, so DeAndre Swift, yeah, I mean that's a great point. with him, I think he just didn't really have the game script there. So I'm not necessarily panicking on him just yet. I know he's got the talent. I want him to kind of put it on display a little bit more. That's something that we're going to talk about this week. And I think, like I said, I just think it wasn't a game script for him. As the season goes on, Caleb built some confidence. I'm not out on Caleb either, or that Chicago offense. But I think once Caleb gains some confidence, that offense starts clicking a little bit more. I think Swift's gonna see a little bit of pick up in fantasy production. Yeah. Did you have a question about one of my other players as well?
Oh yeah, and I mean they're like like
Oh,
one
just
of
the
your
other
like
guys?
yeah
Yeah,
I mean
yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm gonna ask about DK Metcalf as well, but I think about DK
Okay.
Metcalf is like I think like he'll do well, but just tell me about
Yeah,
DK Metcalf.
yeah. I'm not panicking on him. I know week one of last year he also had kind of an a little bit of a lower performance. I was pretty strong on the Seahawks coming in this year. I thought they were in a position to kind of make big things happen. I don't know. It's not. I mean, I can't say Gino instilled that much confidence in me with this week one performance, but um, DK's DK, and Gino's still better than a decent number of quarterbacks in this league. So I still think that offense has potential, and I think DK is going to get his going forward. Yeah, him and Tyler Lockett kind of just have their games where they switch off, and Tyler Lockett was just making some plays this week, and that's fine. DK will get his. Not too
And
worried
also
about him.
he got blanketed by Certain. That's
Yeah,
Certain.
that too. Yep.
But yeah,
Yeah, he's not going to be playing 16
I
every
think that's
week.
all the
So
questions for you uh, for tonight. Thank you for being on here. Congrats on the big win and good luck to you moving forward.
yeah, I appreciate it. I thought I was going to come in here. I was gonna get a lot more heat than I did. So I appreciate
Yeah.
the.
All right.
So, just as a recap, lowest score of the week. So a bit rough. And obviously, Drake London, Dodge Kincaid, um, two guys you drafted early. And then even CD Lamb a bit underwhelming for where you take him. Overall, what are your takeaways from this first week? I know it's week one, so maybe you'll have some overreactions, but how are you feeling?
Thank you, Ankit. It's really disappointing. You look forward to this day all summer. You get your hopes up. You start looking, you start doing mocks. You start looking at other sites. You start comparing ADPs. You start trying to get your guys, and then all this build up to this Sunday, and and my team just shits the bed. Like that's all I can say. And it's really disappointing to see my team do this. 80 points, losing by 60 points. I knew it was going to be a hard matchup coming in, but I was expecting a little bit more out of my team. Uh, but one thing I'll say, like I still have like positive thoughts on my team. I think next week is going to be a big week for me. I have a lot of. I mean, we're going to get on that soon, but I think there's going to be like a lot of good matchups, like who my players are playing against, and I think I have a pretty good chance of. I know Alvin had a big week. Looking at Alvin's injuries this past week, I think I have a good chance of beating him. So yeah, but all I can say is really disappointing. You look forward to this day for so long, and it just and this happens.
Thank you. Yeah, I know it's a tough feeling. Um, but yeah, thank you for the response.
Yeah. Okay. If I could jump in here real quick. So yeah. I mean, I agree with everything Ankit said. You know, definitely had a bit of a low week. But you've got a lot of guys that you don't necessarily want to panic on. One thing that I do want to ask you, so given the CMC situation, first of all, Jordan Mason, that was a really sharp pickup by you. So good managing on that front. Are we going to see him being rolled out with the starters next week?
Um, so if CMC is out, like they're going to keep that to the last second. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to see if I can sell him to Sam because he's a CMC owner, but he's kind of stingy with his trades. Try to get an upgrade at
He-
one of my positions. I mean, I haven't really looked at Sam's team as much, but that might be an option. If Jordan Mason is the RB1 and CMC's out, like he's 100% starting for me
Starting. Yeah.
on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anybody who you're kind of concerned with the usage? Like obviously, like you're not panicking with CD Lamb or anything like that. But Derrick Henry wasn't incredibly efficient. Dalton Kincaid, he didn't really do much at all. Drake London,
I'm just
for his
I'm gonna I'm
ADP.
gonna I'm gonna start with Derrick Henry. He
Sure.
played first, so he got a touchdown, kind of saved his week. But you're looking for more than 10.6 points. But the thing is, like, the game script wasn't the best for him. We knew that coming in, like they're going to be trailing.
Yeah.
And we knew that Justice Hill was going to get snaps when they are trailing because Derrick Henry's not the best receiving back. But they're playing against Las Vegas next week, and I'm hoping for a big week from him. And I'm hoping for a multi-touchdown game and a lot of rushing yards and whatnot. And then CD Lamb, CD Lamb, coming off a whole. Also, the game script was terrible for him and Dak. They just blew out the Browns. Deshaun Watson did not look good at all, and they really didn't have to throw the ball. So he'll be fine. Once they get into more shootouts, you'll see CD get more fantasy points. Drake London, that might be my most concerning player, I would say, in my team right now. Where you look, Drake London, he's an early round pick. He was my third round pick, early third round pick. And the thing about Drake London is like, coming in, like he hasn't really proven much as a fantasy football player, but if you just look at his metrics, like he has great metrics. He has great, route yard, yards per route run, something like that. And but the thing is, like, you're hoping that Kirk Cousins would, basically make their offense better, and new coordinator, new coach, whatnot. And none of that happened, and he didn't even get enough targets. You want Drake London to get 30% target share, and he did not get that at all. He only got 4 targets. But it's a new team, new quarterback, new offensive coordinator, new coach, and Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles tear against a really good defense in the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, I was watching him be like, he had no time to do anything. Like, he can't, and also he can't move. That's also concerning. Like, Kirk Cousins can't
Yeah.
move, and also I have Kirk Cousins on my team on my bench, um, but I would say that's like I'm the most concerned about that player, about Drake London. But
Okay.
I think once Kirk Cousins starts to throw the ball and starts getting him the ball and giving him more opportunities, like I think he'll be fine. I think
Yeah.
especially late season, I think he'll really live up to what people thought he would be. And then Kincaid is gonna be fine. Every tight end did that this week. And
Yeah.
if you just look at the metrics, like Kincaid, people worry about Dawson Knox. Kincaid got twice as many snaps as Dawson Knox. He ran every route. Um, I mean, I know they didn't throw him the ball, but Buffalo is kind of like a roulette, like who's going to do well. So I know
Yep.
he'll have his good weeks. And
Yeah.
I
Last
think
question for you
that's
here.
like my entire
Mhm.
team. I know Debo had a decent week. I think he'll do better, if CMC is not playing. And I'm looking to get some production out of my kicker, Young Hoku, like a measly 3.4 points, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That was definitely a low given all the kickers that popped up. So it looks like headed into this next matchup with Alvin, like Uncle said, that injury to Puka kind of gives you the opportunity here to pull off a win. You're actually favored in this matchup, and so giving you a 52% chance of winning, which I imagine is going to be bumped up a little bit once you swap out that defense. Um, is this a spot that you like to be in? Like, do you prefer to be a dog, or you prefer to kind of, be the guy on top and defend that
I mean,
win?
I 100% prefer to be the favorite, especially in fantasy
Mhm.
football, because fantasy football is a metrics game, not a game you go out there and play yourself. Um, but what I would say is, like, I really like the one thing, I haven't been Alvin since 2018, and he also beat me in the
Okay.
finals that same year. So I have a little bit of like this year I really want to be Alvin. Like, that's like the one guy I really want to
Sure.
beat, and this is the opportunity to beat him. I know he had a great week but no Puka, and Jaden Reed won't be as good because Malik Willis is QBing.
So
And
yeah,
I think
you
it's a
have
really
to
good
expect a
opportunity.
little
And he
bit of
also has a lot of
regression
bad. He
here.
also has a lot of bad matchups, and I also have a lot of good matchups. And I am the
Yeah.
favorite, but also this is a must-win. I cannot start 0-2, and
Do
I have
you
a tough schedule at the start of the season.
do you think that the projections that ESPN has for your players here, do you feel like they're all pretty on point, or are you kind of a little more bullish or your team?
No, I think they have good projections. I
Do you
don't I
think
don't
they're pretty
think I
on
think
point?
they're, I think yeah I think most of, like, they might be a little high looking at last week, but um yeah I think
They
I
can be
mean
a
I don't
little
really I don't
slow
really
to
look at
change.
that,
Mhm.
but I mean, like, I'd be really happy if I do get 122 points where they do project me at.
Yeah,
Look, like, just going off last week.
I think they've got you at 121. But
Yeah, they give
yes.
me one. I mean, I'm adding the defense. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Once you put the defense up,
Yeah.
you'll have a little bit more to go with. Room for error. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Cheering for you. Hopefully you pull that off. Obviously, Alvin's one of my main challengers right now, so I'd love to see him get a loss. But so pulling for you, man. Good
Thank you.
luck.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Rishi.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Before I drop here, Sparsh, can we get a statement about Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, absolutely. It's tough being a Browns fan. Some of the and the we haven't had the most success over the years. That just kind of comes with the territory almost. That's something that I can kind of sad to say, but yeah, that's something that I've somewhat gotten used to. The Deshaun stuff, yeah, that stuff's just downright despicable. It's you can't really make excuses with any of that. So I'm hoping, there's been a little bit of talk about how uh, some loophole in the contract that would allow them to void the contract if something new came up or something. I don't know if this qualifies as that, but hey, if we're able to get out of this contract, that would be really really big for us. So um,
Yeah,
yeah, I
thank
mean that dude's horrible, but in every aspect. So
you. Thank you for the
yeah,
statement, Sparsh.
yep.
I think that's it. If you're watching YouTube, thank you for watching. Thank you to TJ, Ankit, and Sparsh for being on here. And that's it. So.